Just wanted to give y'all a quick update. I got a few minutes. Weather's supposed to blow in at about 3. It's 1:15, so I got 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and then I'm gonna head back to the house. So I came in, did some paperwork, and did some, just some kind of organizing and picking some stuff up. It doesn't really look at it, or it doesn't look like it, but went through parts on the ambo stuff, all the U-joint conversion. And just wanted to touch base with y'all while I'm here. Let's see here. What do we got? We got chat, all live messages. There we go. Anyway, so I just want to kind of, it's cold. I got the patio heater. So that way I can stand here. It's like 41 degrees in the shop, which I know you northerners don't really have any sympathy for me. But those of us in Dallas-Fort Worth, it's freaking freezing, Mr. Bigglesworth. It's like 24 outside. Luckily, there's not a lot of wind, but we're supposed to get more rain, or more precip. So anyways, currently in the shop right this second. We're finishing up this Jeep for a customer. It's a repair job. It had gaskets on it. Don't normally do a lot of repair work. This is a repeat customer and longtime customer, so I took this one on, and it's kind of been a pain in the butt. So it hasn't really gone as smoothly as I would have liked, but we're close. We're getting there. Ambo. If you were at the open house, you saw the Ambo. The big old axle behind it. You guys can see right down there. I can take you over there and look at it here in a minute if anybody's got any questions about it. But that is a 6-inch U-joint conversion. This is the first one of those that I've done. It's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of instructions out there. I've been tracking these kits for years. Been wanting to do one for myself. Luckily, we've got one to do for this customer. This thing's gonna be freaking cool when it's done. It's already pretty freaking cool. The inside's all built out. Customer did it all himself, so pretty cool. Suburban, you guys can see the Suburban is over here. Suburban's actually running really good, but it has a rear main seal leak. We put a new cam in it, and when we did the break-in, the rear main really didn't like that, and so it's puking. But it's so cold, and there's just straight water in it right now. Holden says, we ain't built for this. You are right, buddy. Right down the street whenever you want to go do donuts. Yeah. I've not really done much donuts. A little slipping and sliding. I did come in yesterday and work. Did a lot of like end of year tax crap. So a lot of paperwork. And so that's all done. Or that's made progress on it. Got all the end of year, most of the end of the year stuff done. Off to my left, your right as you face the radio dial, we've got the blue K5. We've got videos on that one already, so if you are familiar with that one, it is in for a Holley Sniper system. We did the suspension on it, gosh, I guess a year or so ago. There's videos on the channel of that. It's cool. It's got Fox Resi shocks, and we put some much better leaf springs in it. It's on 35s with only a 4-inch lift, and seems to clear most everywhere. We're gonna put the interior back together in it and put a Holley Sniper in it and get some of the shenanigans working on it. It's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. Drives good. We did a bunch of steering and suspension stuff to it when we had it last, and so it's much better. Open house went fantastic. Thank you all so much for coming out, those of you that came. Probably top 10 day of my life. Seeing a bunch of buddies that I haven't seen in a very long time was fantastic. Thank you all. I appreciate it. It was my pleasure to have you. Big shout out to Larry and the boys at Method. If you're thinking about some wheels, we still are running promos on Method wheels. Congratulations to William Pruitt for winning a set of methods. He has chosen his wheel. He's going with double black 305s. And we're putting those on his silver Tacoma. So that's going to look awesome, along with a set of, let's see, let's do some tandem drifting around Burleson. Yeah, yeah. Big V10 trucks with 37s. They don't drift so good, believe it or not. I mean, they do. It's just trying to keep them drifting. That's the hard part. Yeah, so shout out to William Pruitt. He won our method wheels from our giveaway. So congrats. He came in, he ordered a set of Falcons and a matching spare to go with that. Of course, lug nuts, and he's going to go with the retro style classic center caps with the Toyota orange, yellow, red stripes on them. So that's going to look great. We'll do that on the channel too. And then also shout out to Jay and the crew at Bahio for pitching in a set of your choice of a set of glasses for the raffle. So that was cool, or the drawing. So that was super awesome. Dima, my one of my old high school buddies' wife, she's a very, very tight friend of the family. So Dima, way to go on that. Let me know what pair you're after, and we'll get you that that code so you can get those entered. So you just get them on the website, and we've got a promo code for you. So awesome. Let's see what the chat's doing here. Live chat. Corn Dog. Corn Dog would not let us use the helicopter. That is correct. There is a muscle car place, Bell Jet Ranger. It is based out of Jackson, Mississippi area. It lives with Corn Dog. If you don't know about Corn Dog, well, what can you say? He's the dog. That's a running gag that we've got from the Muscle Car Place and Kibby and Friends podcast that I'm on occasionally. Those guys are great dudes, and condolences to Mike Finnegan for getting fired 2 years ago still. So, I'm sure you'll make it, buddy, with all 900,000 YouTube subscribers you've got. I'm sure you'll get there one of these days. So on the schedule, we've got a bunch of stuff on the schedule right now. There is a really awesome Bronco coming. I love doing those Broncos, the OBS style, the OJ Broncos. We've done quite a few of them at this point, and I've got another one coming that's really cool. It has a full like pop top camper, 4-wheel camper type of thing on the back. So we're looking forward to that one. We're waiting on parts to get here. They were supposed to ship yesterday, so hopefully all of our Desolate kit came out or got on a truck yesterday. I haven't gotten tracking on that, so I don't know for sure. So, let's see. U-joint kit on this, pretty involved. It's a bit of an endeavor, but it's nothing that anybody with a decent set of skills can't handle. So that's good. It's probably easier to convert this ambulance to 4-wheel drive than it is to replace head gaskets on this Pentastar 3.6. I'm just saying. This thing has been... it's the gift that keeps on giving. Yay. Do you guys have any questions for me? I see 5 on there, and I see some shenanigans. But is anybody got any questions for me? Oh, I did just get a text from the Black Expedition that we did last year for Texas Overland Expo. He's going to be back in town with the expedition, and it'll have been 18 months or so since we did it. So he's going to be coming back in, and we're going to do just a nut and bolt check and just check everything over for him. It's been up there. It's got some miles on it now. He said he's got one little kind of rattly noise. I think I already know what it is without even listening to it. Mikey says, "What's up?" Just being cold, dude. I'm sure you guys closed your shop today too. It's a little chilly out here. Let me move this over so I can see the chat better. All right, there we go. Yeah, so everything going good here? Yes, you did. You did close your shop. Those of you in the Fort Worth area, there's a couple of you. Looks like we got a few people in the chat. If you need metal, go see Mike and the homies at Short Iron. They got 2 locations. They're in Hazlitt, up off Blue Mountain Road, and on 287 and 820 on the south side, right there by the Village Creek exit and the big FedEx, and right where 287 and 820 come together. So Short Iron, by far the best pricing. By far the best pricing. They blow other people completely out of the water. Some of their stuff is literally half the price. So there are people out there still raking people over the coals on metal pricing. But Mike and the dudes at Short Iron, Mike and Julia and Chris and why am I drawing a blank? Yeah, Eric, for especially since they have free cuts. So Short Iron's good people. James, yes, sorry. Yes, James, you didn't see it popped up right as I said it. Sorry. Space Cadet. Yep. So anyways, great people up there. They also do a lot of laser cutting for us and CNC brake work because we don't have a CNC brake yet. So if you need some small volume, large volume, medium volume production work done, get with me and we'll hook up with those guys and we'll build some stuff. We've been building a lot of stuff lately with those guys. So we've got some very cool products that are kind of keeping the gears lubed in this building. So they're good people. Anyways, also Mike's got a bug that one of these days we'll see here in the shop. Even if we don't, it's still awesome. And he bought wheels for me, so I appreciate that. Mike's got a LS powered Volkswagen Beetle with like 2 feet of suspension travels. So it was a full on Baja bug. Kibitech did the chassis on it, and it just got back into town. So it's killer. It's killer. So, looking forward to plumbing and wiring it. Let's see. Speaking of wiring, those of you who know Been Fetched lately, nobody on this live stream probably knows him, but the V6 Bird, he has a race car, and we've got it penciled in to come in for PDM system wiring and digital dash and all that fun stuff. So. The Arctic Tundra in S-Town, that's right. It's chilly. I can't get back under my patio heater. It's on low, but it means I don't have to wear a toboggan to talk to you. Let's talk about, do you guys have anything else to talk about before I go off on anything? Yep. Yeah, it is chilly. Let's see here. Let's talk about wheels, since Method was so kind to hook us up with a set of wheels. You guys may already know some of this, but some of you may not. Let's talk about some wheels. I got a couple of wheels right here. All right, this is a Method 701 in Bahia Blue. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? This is our display wheel, aka Steve's spare. Recap the grand opening party. How many visitors? We just did all that, buddy. We just did all that. We cooked for, I think I cooked 75 hamburgers and at least 40 hot dogs, and then we talked about winners. So, on that subject of wheels, let's talk about wheels. So this is a Method 701. Like I say, this is Steve's 5th wheel. The main thing about the 700 series is, if you guys can see right here, You see these little serrations in this area and how thick this bead grip area is? This has what's called bead grip technology. It does allow you to air way down. Yeah, those pre-seasoned Sam's hamburgers. They actually went over really well. Like, everybody loved them. They were really good for bulk meat. So, anyways, all right. So bead grips. So we have a video about bead locks, but bead locks are not technically DOT legal. They do tend to leak a little over time, and so they're really a competition only type of setup. What you do with your rig is your business. That's not my problem. But you're not supposed to run them on the street. So bead grip is a great way to be able to run lower air pressures and still be DOT legal. Now, I can tell you, I have not unseated a bead on one of these on the trail. Number one, I don't get as much trail time as I would like, and number two, I just haven't. I mean, even with my 37s and my 9,000 pound truck down at single digit pressures, like 9, it run around in the mud, it hasn't been a problem. I have unseated beads on others before. Hang on, I'm coming. I just don't want this wheel to fall. It's too round. It wants to fall. Let's roll off the counter. Okay, so this is a 305. Trail time. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, I do. All right, so as you can tell, and I'll see if I can hold these up side by side, you can tell this area here doesn't have the serrations, doesn't have the little teeth, and it doesn't have as tall of a ridge right here where the bead seats. So what can happen is if you run lower pressures, in your tires, and especially in like the dunes or in the mud, and you want to air down, you do want to do that because you get a greater contact patch from your tire, especially for sand, for flotation. But in sand, you're a lot of times going high speed and you're turning through the sand, so therefore you have a lot of side load on the tire. And what that can cause is the outside of the tire to pop. It's very rare you'll get an inside bead to pop. I mean, it's not like it doesn't happen, but it's pretty rare. What the bead grip allows you to do is run lower pressures and maintain the integrity of the tire wheel connection, so to speak, and that tire doesn't push off the inside. And I can tell you, the guys who mount tires for us, every time I bring them a set of bead grips, they complain. So there is a anecdotal evidence for sure. I'm sure we could put gauges on it, and I know Method has, and been able to tell you it takes X amount of pounds of force to take the wheel off versus Y amount of pounds of force. Either way, I can tell you that the dudes who do tire mounting for me, when I bring them bead grips, they complain because they're hard to get off, which is a good thing for you as the end user. You're much less likely to blow a bead off. When you're running around on even rocky trails and dirt roads, it's really nice to air down to, say, 15-ish. It just takes all those little rocks and just makes the tire suck them up so they don't all get transmitted into the chassis and the shock and all that stuff. So it lets that tire sidewall kind of flex a little bit. Believe it or not, the sides of the tire, when you air down, they'll bulge a little bit, but your increased contact patch comes from the radius of the tire actually flattening out. Instead of being like this, it'll actually flatten out like this with lower pressure. That's where that sidewall bulge comes from, is the amount of surface area on the tire to the pavement, so to speak. So let me stack these wheels up and I'll show you guys the side by side, because I'm not going to sit here and hold them. Okay, So as you can see clearly, and these wheels are the same size, same bolt pattern, everything, you can see how this ridge is much more proud than this one here. This is probably another 1/16 or so more than this one. But then you also have the serrations, and I can catch my fingernail on those. So it is, like I say, not just an anecdotal difference, but actually there is a difference. It's like that Papa John's commercial. My wheels are better, my grips are better, my beads are better. Yeah, one of those deals. So, and I don't have any other manufacturer's wheels to weigh them back and forth with, but the methods are lighter, but they're also thicker in the right areas. So around that bead and in the hub area, which is where a lot of failures happen because that's the highest point load or one of the higher point load areas. Whenever we're mounting methods on most vehicles, all your Toyotas for sure, and most of your GMs, it is my rule to use extended thread lugs. So they've got like an extra shoulder and probably 5 or 6 extra threads that sink down inside because the factory lug nuts are not really long enough. There's a lot of science behind that one too. You want to make sure the hub is carrying the load and not the studs. So that way you've got good clamping and you're less likely to have one fail. Another good thing to make sure you pay attention to on wheels is wheel torque. We had a customer come in here recently and we were going to do a rotation while we're doing some other stuff. And he was right there with me. And we grabbed the impact to take it off and his lug nut split. And the spline part of the lug nut came off, but the threaded part stayed in and didn't loosen. And I asked him who had rotated his tires before, and he said just some local tire shop. And then I went back and looked, and we normally torque most off-road wheels. We normally set at about 100 foot-pounds, especially in your M14s. So like my Ford, Steve Chevy, they got M14 lug nuts, and they usually take 100 to 120 foot-pounds or so. But it's very important that you always torque your lug nuts to specification. These were, my air impact was like ugga, 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 ugga before they would come off. And this one, it failed before it loosened. So if you go in and just jam them on there, all your Toyota stuff, torque spec on those is usually 80 to 85. So you really don't want to go to just 3 ugga duggas on your impact, because even my cordless impacts will go to 100 if you just let them hit a couple, 3 or 4 times. So we don't want broken lug nuts. That's a bad deal. That's a bad deal. No. All right, let's look in the chat, see if we got any questions. All right, well, the burgers were pretty amazing. It's fantastic. I appreciate that. And yes, we actually have a trip planned. We can trip. The kids have it. Whoa. What was that for? How did it do that? Sorry, I don't. Does it zoom? Oh, it does zoom. Oh, that makes things easy. Sorry, my phone has to be charged in because it's pretty low. Didn't charge last night, so it's hanging on the handles of the new cabinets in the shop, so that's why it's flopping around so much. It's because it's plugged in. Yeah, so we do have a trip planned. The kids have a 4-day weekend in February for President's Day or something. So we got a little Airbnb-ish thing for a couple days up in Talamina. So we'll be going up to Talamina for the weekend and eastern Oklahoma, and hopefully take the truck or have some fun stuff done to my wife's car at that point. And so yeah, we're gonna go up there and do that. We got a little place to stay. We're not doing any overlanding per se, but go see some elevation change. I haven't got to do that in a while. It's been a while. So, anybody got any questions? Let's see, we're at about 1:40, so I got another 15-20 minutes. If you guys got anything you want to talk about or have questions about the shop, what do we got? Memorial Day, TPS would shut down Talamina for us to hit 79 kilometers. It's a great place to get away. Yeah. So Talamina, yeah. So Eric was a longboarder. Still does a little bit, right? Not a whole lot, but occasionally. And he would do the like super high speed, like dudes in the movie, you know, wearing the leathers and the arrow helmet and all that crap, 70 miles an hour on a skateboard. Some of y'all think I'm nuts. Yeah, a lot of work these days. So anyway, yeah, that area up there, if you guys have not been there, Talamina, and I think at least a few of you that are on here have, the Talamina area, I have been dual sporting and riding dirt bikes up there for like 20 years. And it is one of my favorite places to go because it's kind of like going to Colorado, but without having to drive for 12 or 14 hours. Obviously, it's not the full Colorado fix for a motorcycle guy, but it's fantastic. There's a lot of fire roads up there, and the state park, the Winding Stair National Forest, and the Winding Stair Campground at Talahina National Forest is right off of 271. North out of Talahina, and you can actually hike all the way through to Mena, Arkansas on dirt. You cross a couple of roads, but for the most part, it's a couple day through hike if you're into that kind of thing. If you like riding dirt bikes or driving 4-wheel drive trucks around, or even like Subarus and stuff, you know, crossover with some all-terrains, it's great. You can just go up there and just cruise around for days. I mean, we've done, I think the most miles I ever did on a dual sport up there was about 400, but I've done 250 of single track and dual track on my KTM and on my 525. That was a long day. That's another story for another campfire. That was a good one. That was a good one. Let's see, who we got here? Ah! What the hell? Ah! Damn it! Shop party around spring or summer. Definitely make it out there. Yes. So there has actually been some discussion about that. We are going to give away. We're gonna try to do some raffles occasionally. I think we're gonna try to do some stuff on Patreon for raffles. Maybe deserving listener prizes, I think was what it is, because there's something with taxes that you have to do with Patreon. I'm familiar with that from the Kibby show, but I don't know what the rules are yet. I haven't got there. Deserving listener donation is how they phrase it. Anyways, but the point is, yes, we're gonna do. We were talking about doing another shop party. It was an annual tradition. A lot of the guys that were here are my homies from college and high school, and it was an annual tradition for us to have a July 3rd party every year, and then January 25th is my birthday. So depending upon schedules, I don't know, maybe we'll do that. You know, if we could do, if we could keep things busy around here and you know, work flowing, and we could find another tech that could help keep work flowing. You know, I would love to do like a quarterly party. That was great. That was fantastic. I had so much fun, and it was so good to see a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time. I mean, one or two of those guys I hadn't seen in over 10 years. So it's been a long. It was cool. It was really cool. So let's see what we got here without zooming in on my face. Twice a year is good to start. Yeah, I agree, Steve. I think twice a year. I think a summer one. We'll have to be careful because it's going to be really hot. But I think twice a year is a good place to start. I mean, if you know, it does good, it does good. But I mean, I think biannual open house, or shop parties, I don't see any reason why that shouldn't be a thing. Let's see. Yeah, the shop party was a glowing success. Why is this? And they just announced another Fed rate increase. Okay, so yeah, maybe we will be doing repair work. I don't know. Turn this up a little bit. Let's see, what else is going on? We touched on the bourbon, we touched on the K5. I got parts. Oh, I got a. Why is this not feeding? Biggest. Steve asked, what is our biggest learning point so far moving into the new shop? That's a great question. Part of my experience so far is if you build it, they will come, which is one thing I was scared of, taking a big step to move into a place like this. Seems to have been a positive, seems to look like, at least if, let me hang on back up. Just vomiting words out. I would say that the response has been overwhelmingly positive from not only previous customers but potential customers already. So that's good. That's a great thing. The thing that has been something that I had to learn so far is it takes a lot more to keep this place clean. Stuff scatters really quick. And the cabinets that you guys are hanging on right now are a big help. And it's really easy to get stuck here. It's really easy for me to get stuck and keep working, because there's not just one thing going on. If we get hung up on it, I'm kind of a stopping point for the day, or even two things, depending upon what's going on with them. It's with 3 or 4 projects in process. It's been real easy for me to get stuck here. So I'm actually wanting to set like an alarm clock at 5:30 for like clean up and go home. It's something that's gonna kind of have to happen on a personal level and on a professional level. It's gonna be real easy for me to just stay here till 9-10 o'clock at night. So, next question is, if we only accomplish one major milestone this year, what would I want it to be? Major milestone for this year, I would say hiring another full-time technician and getting to a getting to an organizational standpoint, personally and physically, that I can get to the point where I walk out the door at 6:05 every day. It's never going to happen every day, but if I can get myself and the shop organized and keep the workflow managed, and that's kind of on me. Actually, it's fully on me, really. Being able to keep things organized and managed to the point where I can leave on time every day, that would probably be the most beneficial, so that I can maintain some work-life balance. Even though my job is my life, because even when I wasn't doing it professionally, this was what I did. Smaller scale, but still what I did. getting myself to the point where we can take a family vacation and like set aside the time, have it scheduled, and be able to stick to that. That would be a huge one. So I think that's probably the biggest milestone. Not really interested in stocking a bunch of inventory or doing anything outrageous. Getting things managed to a point where they work smoothly. That's going to be kind of my main thing. Let's see. Anybody got anything else? Eric, what are you working on? Let's see. Okay, so Dark Ninja Corp. That is Rowan. Rowan, your Firebird is on the other side of the ambulance, by the way. Just so you know, it's inside. It's over in what's going to be the fab area. Rowan used to do our video production for us. He says, mad respect for making it into the shop. Well, bud, it's a 3-mile commute, and I got the war wagon, so I needed to make it in for a little bit for a couple of things, and so before I head home, we're supposed to go do some cul-de-sac donuts with the kids here in a little bit behind the side-by-side, the neighbor's side-by-side, and Adam says he's going to jump in his 4-seat Razor. And I have a hood from his Bronco that he sold that has a dent in it, and so it's going to the scrapyard. And so we're gonna make that into a sled to tow behind the toys. There'll be video. So, anyways, I'm gonna hang out here till probably another 20 minutes or so. Probably cut this off at 2, and then go from there. Mo Party. Scott Sapp says, Mo Party. Yeah, I would love to make it to Mo Party. I think that would be fantastic. I should be put up that. I should have done that. I should have charged my old school. Yeah. Yeah, there'll be donuts later. We have cul-de-sacs in our neighborhood. We have several, so it should be good. I don't have my Land Cruiser. Trevor is driving my Land Cruiser. His Kia blew up. It locked up just driving down the street, and they're doing a warranty enhancement on the motor. So Kia's covering the motor replacement, but he is down a car, so he's driving my 80, and he lives on North Fort Worth, so he's not here because I don't want my 80 wadded up. So, and I don't want him sitting in traffic for 3 hours to try to get here for 3 hours. So anyways, Holly Mo Party. We did make LS Fest Texas this year. That was the first one. I went with the Kibby and Friends show to do some media for them. It was a great event, and Bernie and I had a fantastic time. The event was great. It was stupid hot, but it's Texas in the summer. What are you gonna do? Put on my cowboy hat, my sunscreen, and brought some cold drinks with me, and everything was cool. We did some fun interviews. That is on the Muscle Car Place and the Kibby and Friends show podcast. So if you would like those, go check those out. If you're looking for new podcasts about car stuff, Muscle Car Place and Kibby and Friends show is a lot of fun. I'm on there every once in a while, so it's pretty cool. Episode 402 is kind of my history. Of course, everybody's watching right now knows my history, so there's that. Mo Party is the big, it's the Dodge version of that. That's kind of an annual thing for the Kibby and Friends crew. It's in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's pretty centrally located. for a lot of people. Not so much for me, but it would make a great excuse to go. It was not in the budget to take that kind of time out because myself and the staff all had COVID this year, so I got way behind on work and didn't have any money to go, so I didn't get to go. But hopefully this year I'll be able to go. Steve, that would be a fun one for us. That would be we can go up there and have a good time. Okay, so in the thumbnail for this, you guys see the Nova. Couple of things. That thing is going to need a name. First, it needs a title. Yeah, Garrett. Garrett Daniels also went to Mo Party. It's fantastic. I'm sure it was. I heard it was fantastic. I didn't get to go, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so the Nova in the thumbnail. When we moved into this place, the guy next door on the other side of that wall moved out right at the same time, first of the year. And he has had that Nova for a number of years. It is a 71 V8 AC power steering manual brake, drum brake, white, antique white with blue bench seat column shift car. So it's not really anything special other than it had factory AC. Right now, it has AC everywhere because their floor looks like Swiss cheese. And so the plan for that, first we got to get a title because I'm not doing anything without a title at all. So the plan for that, since you guys are here and you joined in, is I have the 350, the Turbo 400 out of Jay's bus sitting at the house. And it's got umpteen million miles on it or whatever. But it's a 350. It's like an 84 4-volt main, nothing fancy truck block. So what we're going to do is that motor is going to get a rebuild and cam and probably some kind of heads. The plan for that car is initially we're going to roadkill it. My plan for it is it's going to be roadkill. It is death metal Charger, but it's going to be the death metal Nova. The thing is tetanus in every direction, and it needs floors, it needs trunks, it needs the I don't know what you call it. You body men are going to hassle me for this, but the area below the windshield is like completely Swiss cheese and rotted out, and the cow's in good shape, and like everything, the roof's decent, but the rest of it is just like the quarters have holes, whatever. So we're going to go in the Freiberger method and don't get it right, just get it running. So the plan is to take the 350 and the Turbo 400 that were in Jay's school bus, and we're going to do a cheapo rebuild on those and get this thing running and driving and stopping. Now, the rules for the build, Steve and I have already gone over this, is we can only use parts that we already have laying around, parts that we source from buddies that they have laying around, used parts on Marketplace, and the kicker for the whole deal is parts from the demo area only at Summit. We can't buy anything new except for like spark plugs and fuel line type of stuff, right? So nothing new retail or wholesale on the Nova. Don't get it right, just get it running. Exactly. So that's the kicker. So the whole YouTube series is going to be basically us scrounging used parts. I've got a couple of carburetors laying around. I've got a set of chrome metal Brock valve covers we pulled off of something. We're going to use takeoffs from customers' cars if they'll let us have them, or if they just want to scrap them. We're going to use stuff we got laying around, stuff buddies have laying around, and demo scratch and dent parts from Summit, because we have our Summit warehouse here locally. So anytime we need anything, we're just going to go. So if we wind up with a radiator out of something else, a Chevy truck, and electric fans, and yeah, right. Whatever. I don't care if it has 2 mismatched seats in it, as long as it tells a good story of us digging through crap at Summit. for the YouTube channel. Once the car is up and running and has a Lexan windshield in it with some sheet metal screws and some rivets and some duct tape to hold it together, and we drive it around a little bit and we go slide it around in a pasture, at that point, we'll take it to the track. Maybe we'll try to get on at a dirt track. I would love to get on at a dirt track somewhere just to see what happens. Or take it to autocross, just dumb stuff. Right. Yeah, I'll touch on that in a second. So the idea is, as a side project and as a budget build for a YouTube series, a series of episodes, is going to be that build. Once that is done, I'm giving Steve the car, so he can have it at that point. And he says he wants to make it nice. We'll see how that works out with all the rust. But maybe we'll just piece it back together and just keep it as a bomber, ratty muscle car, whatever. But lots of rust indeed. All right, so I just got a text. Schools are closed tomorrow too. All right, cool. Anyway, so that's the plan. That's the plan for the Death Metal Nova, the Tetanus Nova. I don't know. It needs a name. Like I said, first it needs a title, then it needs a name. And then if Steve wants to make it nice and kind of turn it into a resto mod, then we'll follow that process as well. That said, we, as you guys know, the 6 of you that are watching, we're a shop. We got customer cars coming through. Those are still going to get filmed. This is just us trying to do something that's not us just filming customer cars. So it'll have a little different feel to it. I think that digging through, going to swap meets and digging through Summits, scratch and dent stuff, I think that'll make for interesting content, and it should be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. And we won't make any special trips. It'll be like, hey, we got to go to Summit and go get this thing for this customer car, and we'll go through scratch and dent while we're there. One of those kind of deals. So anyways, yeah, got a couple 410 F bodies penciled in. Actually, I got three 410 Trans Ams. All of them are Trans Ams. Penciled in. I've got a LT1 Trans Am, so 4 penciled in. At least 3 more Broncos coming. The Expedition, make episodes out of it. Out of which one, Mike? I'm going to make episodes out of everything. If all the gun channels are going to get kicked off of YouTube, all them viewers got to go somewhere. Send them this way. Yeah, so lots of fun stuff coming. So lots of Broncos, lots of that kind of stuff. We're gonna fix some stuff on my truck. My shop truck needs some love. The brown truck is gonna go through a rebuild, and then one of these days, when we hit a certain profitability point, the rust bucket. Yeah. No, we're going to. That's gonna be the fun of the Nova build is the going and digging up used parts, and we'll come see you and get a bunch of HREW and put a cheap roll cage in it because it's probably falling apart already, that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, we're gonna still film the stuff, and once we hit a certain level of profitability and exposure, I have another project. Most of you guys probably know about it. We've got a 2-door Tahoe that I want to do some really stupid stuff with, and looking forward to one of these days getting to the point where I can afford to start putting some money into that. So. All right, well, if nobody's got anything else, I probably need to go home. The weather's supposed to be rolling in again here in the next few minutes, and I need to push a broom through here and go warm my truck up. So if anybody's got anything else, speak now. Bring it on. What do we got? Let's see. Let me check my comments here. Gun guys tend to be car guys and vice versa. Yes. Yeah. All hail the machines. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Steve-O says, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. We certainly appreciate it. And thank you. Yeah, so like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications. We appreciate you guys watching. Steve has a new cheat code video coming out. What? Naym. Who are you? Anyway, so yeah, do all the things, ring the bell, all the fun stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. And we've got a new episode dropping, I think, later this afternoon, it seems like. So Steve's putting the final touches on a nice cheat code for something cool that we do kind of on the regular. It's pretty cool. Put a link in the description once it posts, of course. Yes, we'll put a link in the description to the newest video. It involves the Hellcat Gladiator. So if you were around for that one, then you'll see a little sneak peek of one of the things that I did on there that was a little different. And if you haven't seen the Hellcat Gladiator, jump on the channel. We just posted it the other day. Hellcat Gladiator Rundown. And that guy just called me and asked if we can add 100 horsepower. So it might be coming back again. I don't know. All right, I'm going to get off of here. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and McGuire's. Check you later.